So you hear me? It's fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's let's try.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Perfect.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, prova. Ok. Ciao amici Jody Watches. Today we are here with Vivian Schaffer, CEO of Hamilton Watches. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me here in Los Angeles.
It's a pleasure.
I'm a big fan of Hamilton, and I'm not saying this because I'm here with you, but because Hamilton made me like a watch enthusiast. Because I have a story with Hamilton, but let's talk about this later. The first question I have for you is this. You've had a long and evolving journey with Hamilton Watches, rising through various positions like head of sales for many years to become the CEO. In your experience, what do you believe is the most important highlight in preserving a watch brand like Hamilton?
So thank you, first of all, to be a big fan of Hamilton. So we are two sitting here being big fan of the brand.
Obviously, yeah.
I think that to keep the track and to continue to make Hamilton evolving for the future, we need to know from where we are and who we are. And I think that's the most effort of what we put in our product is to create stories, to inspire ourselves from our very rich history of the brand. And we were born here in the United States, so in Lancaster, and that's a very strong source of inspiration for the brand. So I believe that keeping the spirit and the DNA of the brand is something that we will continue to do, and it's a success for the future.
And Hamilton has always aimed to create more than just watches, because you connect stories to every model. Now, we are here at the Behind the Camera Awards, an event created and hosted by Hamilton for years. How did this relationship between Hamilton and cinema first come about?
So, it didn't start yesterday. So, as you said, it's a long story, a long relationship with Hollywood. The story with Hollywood started in 1932. The first watch that we spotted on the wrist of an actress was in the movie Shanghai Express with Marlene Dietrich. And since then, we had this relation with Hollywood. It's also because we are an American brand. So when the studio needed to have something special for watch, it was easier for them to give a call to Hamilton in Lancaster than calling a brand outside of the US. And what we have done is that we continue to work closely with the studios. And after these years, more than 90 years of relationship with Hollywood, we realized how passionate the people who work behind the scene, who create the magic that we see on the screen, the efforts that they were putting, the dedication. We say, wow, we need to do something for these people. We need to award them. We need to pay tribute to what they are doing, and that's how the idea raised in the US team of Hamilton at that time to create this Hamilton Behind the Camera Award. The first one was in 2006, and we are here today for the 13th edition of this event.
Are you excited for today?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Are you gonna be on stage? Obviously.
Apparently, I have to open the ceremony. I mean, part of the thing. We are the organizer of the event, so I will have to explain the story behind and to welcome all our guests and of course to award these people and to thank them for their great work.
Talking about movies, specific movies, for the film Dune, Hamilton created a prop for Timothée Chalamet character to wear. What motivated you to be so meticulous in crafting this piece, even though, unlike other projects where Hamilton watches have taken center stage, it wasn't prominently featured?
So, we have I will rewind a little bit to talk how we work until June, because June is a totally new way of working with the studios. So in the past, we had 3 ways of working. One way is to put at the disposal of the studio our current collection. So they can choose whatever they want, depending on the character, they quickly need something, and they have a full Hamilton collection.
So something existing
from our current collection, core collection that we can find in most of our shops. Then there is a second way of working is to source or to provide them with vintage watches. It was the case for Oppenheimer. So sometimes they need a watch that fit with the time period of the movie. I mean, you cannot put a smartwatch if you are doing a movie of the 60s. It was not existing. So the spectators are really, really into details as well. So there is few things that you have to respect. And the third way is to make a prop watch. So it's a watch only made for the movie. Dune is another way. They contacted us. By the way, they were at the Hamilton Behind the Camera Award because they got an award in 2021. they received an award, and then they contacted us 3 months after, and they say, okay, guys, we need your expertise. We want to create a wrist tool for the Fremen. And we say, yeah, but they don't need a watch.
Yeah.
They don't know how to watch.
Yeah.
They don't need a watch. Yeah, but we don't care. You are the experts of what people put on the wrist. We need your support to design what is needed for a Fremen. It's your own interpretation. And then you start to discuss with them. And then we created this, the dial of the prop watch, not the case. The case was given. So we just designed the inside of this wrist tool. And then we say, okay, cool. We did this design, but now, I mean, we produce watches.
Yeah.
So we have to do something out of this design. And that's why we integrated this design into the Ventura to make something quite cool. So it's a very, very cool story, and it's a new way of working with the studios. We became designers for studio.
It's been 10 years since the release of Interstellar and the introduction of your khaki field Marf watch. As a brand, have a great relationship with Christopher Nolan. Personally, my love for that film ignited my passion, not just for that timepiece, but for the entire Hamilton brand. So how significant have Interstellar and the Marf been in the history of your brand?
It's huge. It's huge. It has a big impact. At the beginning, the Murph shouldn't exist. So the Murph was, in a way, designed by Christopher Nolan and his team. They created the Murph taking different components from different Hamilton collection.
Okay.
So if we talk about movie, it's a Frankenstein. They created it. And for us, at the beginning, it was only for a prop watch. It was only for these movies. It was supposed to be a prop watch. But then we realized the story behind the product. I mean, that's a father giving the watch to his daughter, saving the life with this product. People started to contact Hamilton, to chase us, to get these watches. It took us a few years to start to produce it. You have to go through the whole concept, homologation and everything, and then we created the watch. And since then, it's very interesting to have now in Hamilton collection a family called the Murph that is inspired by the movie.
Yeah, and also this year you launched this one with the bracelet.
Yes, so we launched the one in 38. So we launched the 38 later on, and now in on bracelet and with a white dial.
Yeah, and also I have a special thing. Look at this. I have the dial of the Marf.
Oh, that's cool.
We have Hamilton on me.
On your skin. We can definitely say that you are really in love with the brand.
Yeah.
I still don't have a Hamilton logo on my bike.
Hamilton has always stayed up to date while honoring its history and iconic models like the PSR. What's the purpose behind creating both watches and stories? Are you aiming more towards watch enthusiasts, like watch nerds? Or are you trying to reach people outside that watch world who might discover Hamilton through projects like movies and cinema-related watches?
I think we are not targeting a specific customer.
Okay.
Our work is to develop, create product that tell a story and create emotion. That's the main objective of the brand. The starting point should, okay, we need to produce a watch that has character, that tell a story. A lot of this story comes as well with inspiration from the past. So this first source of inspiration, you are talking about the PSR, so it's to look what we have done in the past. We should not be nostalgic. We should. I don't want that we say, oh, well, it was much better before. No. We are creating today the history of tomorrow. So that's also our job to create the story of the future. So that's why we inspire ourselves, but then we interpret the way we want the product. And that's why, to answer your question, we are not targeting a customer. We are creating a product that fit with the spirit of the brand.
And looking ahead, what future projects does Hamilton have in store, be it new watches or collaboration? Can you give us a little sneak peek of what's next?
Yeah, so what's next? We know who we are, where we go from where we are coming, as I was saying. We are definitely strongly linked with Hollywood. So you're going to for sure see a movie with Hamilton next year. There is always, we are in 15 to 20 movies every year. We just choose one to communicate. But if you start spotting watches around, we are in many, many movies. But then we have to, our work is to decide which movie we want to communicate with which product they used. So definitely with movie. And I don't know, but if you are a fan of Hamilton, you know already. So we launched in 2021 a watch for the gaming for Far Cry 6.
Yeah, sure.
Which was a first for Hamilton. And we entered into gaming because we realized that in the gaming, you also create story. Yeah. You create emotion. It's very immersive as well. So we say, okay, we have to try to do something with them. So it started in 2021, and since then we are in contact with many gaming studio, and there is at least one game for next year as well that will feature Hamilton on the wrist. Yeah.
One game.
At least one game.
Okay, at least one.
But I cannot disclose now.
Yeah,
it's still too early, and especially that in the gaming industry, they can postpone by 1 year whenever they want, because they can still work on it. So it doesn't make sense to disappoint any of your spectators. To say something that's gonna potentially be postponed by 1 year. But stay tuned.
And is cinema so much different from video game?
Cinema, it's easier for us because we have the relationship. We capitalize on 90 years of history with them. Gaming is a little bit more difficult because we have to create the connection. Cinema it's here. We are in Hollywood. So you have all the studios in the area. Gaming, you have studio in Japan, you have studio in China, you have in France, in Canada, in the US. So we have to create this relationship. But the common point is the creativity of these people. It's insane to see how deep in details they go, and that's something that also talks to us, and it's challenging us sometimes because they want something that is potentially not feasible for a watchmaker. A watchmaker start to produce a watch starting with the constraint. This guy out there, they have no constraint.
No.
They don't consider the size of a movement, how thick it is. So they just drop ideas, and then we have to make it live. So that
and they also craft your watches digitally. So it's
and they need the 3D visuals and everything, technical aspect, because they really want to integrate it in the game. That's how we are. We want to be within the game or on the wrist of actors.
And last but not least, an infamous question. What's your favorite Hamilton watch?
It's an easy question for you, and that's the most difficult question for me to answer. And I will tell you why. Because we put so much energy, we discuss so long to finalize a product that I start to love all of them. Because you really go into the sound of every single product. What talks to me, if I had to choose one, for me it's an aviation pilot. I am a pilot as well. I am flying. So it talks to me to where. So today I have the Pilot 39. It talks to me. That's my world. I love aviation, and that's why when I can choose a watch, when I'm not representing the brand, where I have to wear novelties, during the weekend I take an aviation one, Khaki Aviation Pilot or the X-Wing. I like the X-Wing, especially the Sandstorm one with this sand PVD. It's something that I quite like.
Okay, so it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time, and it's your job. Your time is your job, so
exactly.
Thank you so much.
Job, it was real pleasure.
Can you say ciao, Jody Watches?
Ciao, Jody Watches.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Vivian.
Thank you.
Okay, grazie.
Good.
Thank you so much.
I didn't talk too much.
No, it's good. It's good.
You have enough.
Enough. Yeah. Sure.